Good morning and welcome to SimWorld. Today it is February 25th. It's Tuesday, which means we're joined by Sniper Jay. Good morning, Sniper. How are you?
Good morning. It's almost Mardi Gras time, Marsh, and I'm excited.
Oh, okay, Sniper. I didn't know you had that in your bag. Are you going down to New Orleans for Mardi Gras? Or are you a local celebration kind of guy?
Absolutely not. We're not going to Mardi Gras in New Orleans.
Ah,
That's
well,
too
you got my
crazy.
hopes up. You got my hopes up, Sniper. You got my hopes up. Well, happy early Mardi Gras to whoever celebrates or is on the cusp of it. But let's dive in. We got plenty to get to. We're talking game of the week later on in the show, which is tonight, UNC Duke. We're talking most impressive SimWorld U teams. But we bring Sniper on to kind of give a little bit more deep dive on college basketball. So I want to talk about teams outside of the top 10 that have a legitimate chance at winning a championship, Sniper. So the assignment was simple. 3 teams, pick them outside of the top 10 you think could be raising a national championship banner. Who is it right now that could be a real contender that's not necessarily sitting in the top 10?
Absolutely. My first team is St. John's. Rick
Okay.
Pitino got these boys playing good basketball. I mean, between Shea King and Keyshawn Shipp, the two-headed monster, they're confident, they're winning games, and I think they're going to be able to make a deep run and possibly win a championship. St. John's is real up there in New York, and you got to look out for them. My second team, Marsh, you can't go against them. It's DKC in Maryland, right? He's Showtime. He's money in the clutch. He's that guy. And you would be crazy not to put him on this list just because of his name alone. But I think they can make a big run just because he's going to be there. Will his support come? Who knows? But he could go get 40 and win some games and make a deep run. My last team, and this team is Gonzaga. Right? Everybody not too high on them. But here's my reason why. And I played a lot of college basketball, Marsh. Caden Chip. He can hoop. Gonzaga. Top 10 in points per game. Top 5 in assists per game. And look, let's be honest here. The strength of schedule is weak in conference. So they should win their conference. They're going to be well rested for the tournament, which means these other teams like the SEC, ACC, they're going to be beat up from conference play. They're going to be tired. A little injury prone. Gonzaga, no, they're going to be fresh. They're going to be able to run. They're going to be able to play defense, which is going to give them an advantage to win games late in Hoopsteria, which is going to give them a chance to make it to the quad and win a championship. That's why Gonzaga is on this list.
I think the third one, probably Sniper, is the most surprising for anyone. St. John's has kind of hovered around, sneaking into the top 10. Maryland, certainly with CKC, is no stranger to that atmosphere, that stratosphere. Gonzaga has been very up and down, very much up and down throughout the season. At one point ranked in the top 10, and then at one point outside of the top 10. And since then, they've kind of hovered around that 18 to 22 range. Do you envision that you could see them getting higher up than where they are currently, which is number 20? Do you think if they run through this, where do you think they end up peaking in terms of, not necessarily top 25 ranking, because that doesn't quite matter so much as what seed do you think they could end up getting in Hoopsteria?
I think Gonzaga could end up being a 7-6 seed.
Do you think that? I feel like that's kind of low for them if they're going to win their Mountain West, no?
No, they got teams like let's be honest here. They got teams that just flat out are better than them on paper, and their strength of schedule is going to give them that higher seed. The Mountain
Okay.
West only has one team ranked, and it's them. Between them and Pac-12, I don't know. Everybody else has multiple teams ranked, and until that starts to happen, which I don't think is going to happen, Gonzaga is going to be one of those lower seeds that win their championship. And not to mention, I also want to bring this up. Gonzaga has the prestige to make a long run. They've been doing it for a while. They haven't quite knocked down the door, but this could be the year that they do it.
And I think we talked about that last week when you came on. I think we were talking about Virginia Tech, I believe, at the time, where you were talking specifically that program experience, that program background to be able to make a run. And you think that, I mean, Gonzaga, they've made it to, I think, one national championship game, multiple quads. They've made deep runs. So you think this could be the year it gets over. Rank them in order for me. Are you going best chance to worst chance of the three? St. John's, Maryland, Gonzaga in the order that you presented, or are you thinking something else?
I think it's the order I present them in. St. John's has the
Okay.
best chance. They're rolling high. Rick Pitino, like I said, got these boys playing New York style basketball. They confident, they flashy, they're gonna make some noise. Next, you can't never count out the show, CKC. Left-handed monster, you can't stop him. The step backs, the dunks. He's awesome. And Gonzaga is the last team. They got that name. They kind of got that new blood, not blue blood material type to them, and they can make a run because their conference is weak.
All right, let's head on to the second topic, which is impressive seasons thus far in SimWorld U. There's been plenty of them, from the aforementioned St. Johnny's to Princeton making a deep run into the top 10, even a team like Iowa, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, not necessarily expected to be where they are. So I'm wondering, for you, Sniper, what has been the most impressive team and having the most impressive season this year in college hoops?
Marsh, this is an easy one for me. It's Alabama. There's no questions asked. A two-loss team, one loss to the number one team in the country. The second loss is to Auburn. First game of SEC conference, a rivalry game. So you might lose that one. It's a rivalry game. It's the first game of SEC. But they only have two losses. Every other team, besides Duke, I think maybe Duke has more than two losses, maybe not. But they only have two losses. And in my notes here, let me see what I got. Yep, same way I just said. They only have two losses, and they only lost both games by 2 points. And you can't say that for the other teams. The other teams have bad losses on their resume. They lose by more than 10 points, or they lose to a team that's not even supposed to be on the same atmosphere as them or court.
You know what's interesting about Alabama is you look at the top 10, specifically the top 10. You got Duke and you got Cooper Flag. You got Texas, you got Arthur Lattimore. You got Villanova, you got Justin Bell. Kentucky, Glory Tate, Jamison Johnson. Virginia Tech, Travion Novick. Georgia Tech, Donta Walker. Iowa, you've got Lamarian Sherwood. In Memphis, you've got Darius Outlaw. There's two teams that I didn't mention on that list, and the similarity they share is they don't have that tentpole superstar type of guy. And Alabama, despite having DJ Childs, he just has not been a superstar type of guy. He's averaging 13 points per game. He's shooting 38% from the floor. He's shooting 29% from deep. He was at one point a first-round pick. Now he's coming back for his senior year. But Alabama does it on the defensive end. I feel like it's not lost, but maybe it's not talked about, Sniper, quite as much as you would expect it to be. This is the number 15th ranked defense in the country. They're winning games, like you mentioned, 18-2, the two losses by those one possession games. They're winning games not because they have a superstar future first round pick on their hands, or at least future lottery pick. They're winning it because their defense.
Absolutely. And the defense is what's going to carry them. And that's why they've been so impressive. I mean, they can score the ball, yes, but when it comes down to it, they're going to defend you. And that's the reason why they only have two losses.
And of course, four of their five starters are, this isn't to say they don't have good basketball players. Four of their five starters are in double figures. Quincy Henderson's a potential first round pick. Dwayne Epps, a potential fringe first to second round pick, and of course the freshman Levin Cutler likely headed to the association after his stint in college basketball. It's a surprise. I like that pick, Sniper, because it's not one that they also have far exceeded expectations, right? I mean, this was not the expectation of an Alabama team coming in. I think people thought they'd be competitive. They have been competitive over the last number of years in the SEC, but this has been maybe a different breed. Where do you peak them out at? Both SEC, are they winning the SEC, and how deep of a run can they make in Hoopsteria?
I think they're going to win the SEC.
Okay.
I think they're going to be in a championship game. They're going to win by 6 to 8 points. I'm going to call it right there.
Okay. Put it on the board.
They're a quad team for sure. They're going to make it to the quad. What they do in the quad, I don't know. That's a different ball game. They are kind of young, but I think they're going to make it to the quad. I'm not going to call them a championship team at this moment, but I think they're going to be in the quad.
Okay. Well, we're going to need to we don't have the time for it today, but I'm forewarning right now, we need to get your short list of championship teams the next time we get you on here. Give me a little taste of it, though, real quick. Your short list. who can definitely win a championship? I'm assuming Duke's on the list. Are there three other teams that can slide into that definitely can win a championship?
Duke, Villanova, Iowa.
Okay. Didn't expect the third one. I mean, I'm not surprised by the third one, but okay. Duke, Villanova, Iowa, shortlisted right there. All right, let's get to tonight, which is our game of the week. The Tobacco Road rivalry rolls on, switching venues, this time in Chapel Hill. Duke and North Carolina. Cooper Flag, Bam Wallace, the two headliners of this one. Sniper, what's your take? What's your preview of this one? What two players maybe are you watching out for from a kind of a scout's perspective, a highlights perspective? What is your expectation tonight?
I'm looking for revenge, Marsh. This is what this rivalry is about. Everybody wins one game. Nobody ever goes 2-0. I'm looking for revenge from North Carolina. I think Bam Wallace needs to step up and play well, and North Carolina needs to give Cooper Flag as many looks as possible to frustrate him and make him non-effective tonight. Will that happen? Probably not, but they need to try. And then they need to take advantage of their home court advantage. UNC is a tough place to play, Marsh. As we watch these highlights here, you can tell it's going to be rowdy, it's going to be sold out, and they need to use that to their advantage.
Well, it's going to be chaotic, and this is one of the most fascinating rivalries in college basketball because no matter what the score, no matter what the standing, no matter what the record, they always, to your point, win one and lose one. And Duke got the win earlier on their home floor. So do you think North Carolina is getting the win tonight and keeping that historical trend rolling? And if they are going to win, what's it going to take? What is going to be the key to their victory tonight?
I think North Carolina gets the win tonight. I think
Okay.
they do. I think Bam Wallace goes off for more than 20 points. He's going to score. He's going to lead them. He's going to be clutch at the end. And I think Miles is going to defend Cooper Flag well enough.
Well enough. So good, just enough to get the job done, not to completely shut him out.
No, you're not going to shut out Cooper Flag. He rebounds the balls. He plays on every spot on the court. But Miles is going to do his job, and he's going to slow him down just a little bit. Maybe for 2 to 3 minutes where Duke is scoreless or having trouble scoring, and that's going to put North Carolina over the top.
I'm curious. You mentioned Bam Wallace, and not necessarily talking college basketball, but I want to take a quick unscheduled tangent. What do you envision for his future? Because I said this in an article a couple weeks ago that I think he's the most interesting prospect in college basketball right now because he's the only one that fits in that forward mold that can actually shoot, right? Like a lot of the guys that can shoot the ball, they're like 6'4" to 6'5", and then a lot of the other forwards that are 6'7" to 6'9", they don't really have an exterior game. Bam Wallace is 6'7", does have a reliable three-point game, so he's kind of hits the best of both worlds. Yet in most mock drafts, he's looking at being a late first-round pick, or maybe not late, but like lottery pick. So what's your opinion there on Bam Wallace?
Well, but as we know, he got hurt earlier in the season, so I think that kind of set him back in some of the eyes. You know, nobody ever likes to see anybody get hurt, whether it's minor, major, or whatever. So that could have set him back. But a 6'7" shooter, the focus is his defense. You know, what is he like on defense? And I'll be honest with you, I think he's a good defender. I mean, you wouldn't be at North Carolina if you couldn't defend, and he's a 6'7" shooter. I think he could be a steal in the draft, Marsh. I think he could be a steal. And the reason I say that is because scouts overlook these top-tier players all the time. You know, they fall into these high legacy systems like North Carolina, and then they don't perform like they thought they would. So they just drop them. But they're still in the ranks to be drafted, but they drop them, and then they look past them. The next thing you know, they turn out to be like Devin Booker. Devin Booker was put in the system with Calipari, right? Wasn't the best of the best. Gets in the league, they open up his game, tell him, hey, go be that guy you was in high school, and now look at him. Well, not right now, but you know.
I mean, Devin Booker's still a baller. It's just the Suns suck.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, so you've got North Carolina winning it. We've got a three-man list of Duke, Villanova, and Iowa as legitimate championship contenders from Sniper J, and the three most impressive, or the three teams outside of the top 10, St. John's, Maryland, and Gonzaga, with chances to win a national championship, not currently sitting in the top 10. That's all from Sniper J. Sniper, I love having you on. We just deep dive into college basketball, get all the intricacies going. We look forward to hopefully having this as a recurring theme and a recurring segment on the show. So thank you for taking the time this morning to hop on. Are you on any of these broadcasts? Or, well, you've been doing most of these recaps for us, right? So are we going to get that instant reaction from you coming up with a little YouTube short after tonight's game, I'm assuming?
I'm not sure how it's gonna happen. It all depends on my feeling. If I feel like they need a video, they're gonna get their video. But if they need a nice solid tweet, they're gonna get a nice solid tweet, Marsh.
Well, we look forward to whatever the chef decides to cook up for us on the receiving end of it. So we look forward to that. That's where you can catch him. Appreciate you coming on, Sniper J. Appreciate you all tuning in. Reminder again, tough to miss it, but the game of the week rolls on tonight. That's 6:30 p.m. Duke and North Carolina. That's not the only action. Villanova, number 4 team in the country, going up against Creighton. That is right after that one, as we are deep into conference play. Chance to ride high atop the ACC on the line, and revenge on the mind of the Tar Heels tonight in Chapel Hill. That's our show. Appreciate you all tuning in here on SimWorld TV, the only place you can see the game, be the game.